This is Just AMZN on Monday, February 1st, 2021. Looking at the 5-minute, today we had a really clean bullish gap and go. So you can see on the daily here, we gapped up above Friday's close, Friday's entire candle actually, and just continued on up bullish. Just about taking out the high, I think, of this candle, 3.4, and 33.50 we made it up to. Okay. Got to close 33.42.88. So didn't quite close above it, but still, I mean, we really took out, just about took out that candle from a few days ago. We really opened up right at our resistance zone and got into it and didn't turn back. This was a little bit of an evening star reversal, and we didn't go below this candle. Let's see, the low and the close were the same. So it's a shaved bottom, and then we gapped up from there. So let me zoom in on this since I'm talking about it. Okay, so this candle was a shaved bottom, and then we gapped up to this candle. Open and low are the same, and we just continue up from there. We can look at a number of the candles throughout this. You can see there's a stair step here, there's a small hammer here, followed by a larger hammer that engulfs this hammer. Another stair step here. This is our triangle downtrend line, and we pushed through, came back, we're right on it, and then bounced off of it right here, just above the 21, touched the 21 here. There's so many places in here that if you just bought just about anywhere during the day for the stock, you know, it closed higher, so you would have been winning. For the options, it worked a little different. This is earnings week, and I had the date wrong. I guess I knew that earnings was this week, and I assumed it was Thursday because, as far as I can remember, it's Thursday after close, and it's actually Tuesday after close. So this is the only video that I'll do before we really see what happens after hours on Tuesday, because it's Monday. So I had the date wrong. I did not realize. I'm glad I noticed and was checking. It's like, oh, we have more days after earnings than normal. So it will actually be more of an interesting week. We'll get some more movement in the options this week. But between Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll see a lot of the premium sucked out. So for today's video, and it'll still be a little bit like this for tomorrow's video, the options, I'm much further away from the strike price that we're at. So starting out the day around 32.50, I'm a few hundred strikes away with 3,700 call and the 3,000 put, and just looking for, again, just some sort of confluence like I usually talk about. And so the cleanest one would be if you look at the closing price from the previous day. So this one really distorts the chart. We're going the opposite direction. And so I'm actually going to just move it forward by 5 minutes. And we didn't really get into any of these values again once we touched on. This high right here was the last time we came up to this price. Same with just about any of these other highs. We put in a really sideways base through here, but then we ultimately continue to roll over. The range was pretty lousy. So that's on the put. If we look over at the call, the closing price on the call from Friday was at 10.18. 10.18 was right in this entire range, just about all day. If we draw a line in, then you really could have traded something off of this price, especially once it put in a low down here at 9.20. It's about $100. It's, you know, about a 1 point range on that, which is usually the risk that I want to do. And so probably I would not be buying, definitely would not be buying this with the risk that it could come way down here. But once it puts in this low and then holds the 950, sure, as it's putting in this pattern right here and it's just pulling back into the yellow line here and the 21, I'd say, yeah, okay, let's buy here. Let's get in at 10 and stop down at 9. And that still only moved up an R. So I think I said last week, early in the week, we're just going to be kind of scalping, looking for an R or two, not looking for the 3R or not looking for an 8R, you know, just looking for a little bit. And you could have done this trade multiple times. So from 10 up to 11 would have been one time. This, I don't know if it would have filled at 10, so let's not count that one. Over here, if you had bought at 10, you actually would have been holding on until it got way back over here at 11. And so if you were patient from here over to here, actually, no, I'm sorry, I'm pointing at the line, but the line is at 10.18. So you would have had been patient to get in at 10 over here if this didn't fill. If you were waiting for it to go from 10 to 11, well, let's say if you got filled here, great, it worked in 10 minutes. But if you didn't get filled here, you would have been filled over here, and then you would have been waiting an hour and a half till it got up to 11. So even just doing that, that's scalping an R here, scalping an R here. I don't know that I would have had any reason to hold on any longer. And the other thing I noticed here is if I just connect kind of some of these highs, I guess actually that does pretty well. Connecting some of these highs really shows that we've got a nice clean resistance here. I'm not really trying to show a triangle, so I'm going to get rid of that one for now. But really clean downtrend here on the calls, even though the stock is moving significantly higher and just going slower midday. It just shows that the premium is getting sucked out, and that's that's just what's happening ahead of earnings and just trying to, the market maker is trying to get the options to be worth less. As even as the call, even as the stock is going in the direction of the strike price of the call. But then this is clearly a breakout, and then this is clearly a retest of that breakout point. And so this would have been another opportunity to be getting in, seeing this get some really small candles here, break out, retest on a hammer or on a little lower wick, and then continue to rush up a little bit more towards the end of the day. Would have been just another opportunity here to be buying. So along with redrawing this one, so let me put this one back in down here. If we were to draw connecting the highs, we almost made it back up to the high from earlier in the day. So that's just kind of the framework that I'm seeing on the 3,700 call. And again, the only reason I picked this is because it was pretty close to having $100 risk from the closing price here to the low here. Like I said, I would not have traded this, but it's something you could have been looking for a little bit deeper of a pullback. I wouldn't have been trading the 1018 price is what I mean. You could have set up an entry 10 by 9 or looking for it to pull back into this line if it were to hold. Again, this was such a strong gap. You want it to hold. So it's worth risking, your R to get in here. And if it moves against you, okay, you're out. Wait for it to recover. But in this case, it didn't move against you. You'd be in that trade. You could hold on to that as long as you wanted to. Now, holding it wouldn't have worked. Holding on until it ran up and then getting out right away would have worked. But holding on all day, at some point, maybe you would have been nervous and moved your stop up and gotten stopped out. So that's always possible too. But anyway, we'll continue to look at these and see if there's anything like this tomorrow. And then for earnings, so with with this strong move already today, my guess is that it'll continue, that maybe people are buying, anticipating a bigger move up for earnings. With that said, if we have another really strong bullish day and then have a massive gap down, so we can talk about this more on Tuesday, we could trap a lot of bulls if we were to go lower. But you know what? I think a lot of people are just going to be buying Amazon anyway, even if it does gap down. But overall, I'm bullish. I think it'll go higher longer term. It's just what it's going to do this week. Let's see how the chart shapes up. So hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.